Hello everybody, welcome back. We are returning after that 2-hour break for another fantastic quarterfinals round matchup. Again, another losers bracket match, so it's all to play for here. We have, of course, France versus Taiwan. It's another one of those situations, right, where you don't expect to see either of these teams in the losers bracket at this stage, but unfortunately they both find themselves against each other, and it means we have to send one of these teams out of the competition. Of course, joining me for this epic decider between two titans of OWC is the very lovely Mavs. How you doing, Mavs?
I'm doing great, Dimash. Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, as you were saying, I'm a bit blown away as well I can't possibly imagine seeing France, Taiwan in the loser bracket in a quarterfinals matchup, but here we are. It's happened. You know, one of our top 8 seeds being France, and Taiwan being around that middle seed range after not the best of qualifiers from them this year. But you know, nonetheless, they've come to this tourney, had a unfortunate loss in the round of 32, and that's why they're down here. France as well, going out on the tiebreaker last week to Hong Kong, I believe. So, you know, they've gone down to some tough opponents, and you know, it makes sense why they're here, but it's still just gobsmacking to even see them in the loser bracket this early in the tournament. And we're going to be seeing them going up against each other now, and one of them's going to be going home today, which, I mean, it's just a shock. I think it'll be a shock no matter who takes this match.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the one thing you can say though about this Hong Kong roster is that they have massively improved over the past 2 to 3 weeks after having the rough seeding and then not having the best first round match. They definitely stepped it up last week with some incredible team scores to bring home the victory. France have been on a little bit of a downward spiral, unfortunately, a bit since the qualifiers. They've kind of been dipping in performance. They've definitely got some work to do up against this side.
Yeah, this Taiwan team, I mean, they put up some pretty impressive scores last week. I'm, looking at that DT2 mainly, where, they four-wayed that DT2. I'm pretty sure the top score of the week by quite the margin, and that was after other teams were also getting incredible scores on that map, and they just blew it out of the park. So Taiwan with some really good scores last week. There was actually only 3 maps that both of these teams played, 3 of the same maps, and Taiwan coming out on top on 2 of those 3 maps fairly convincingly. France coming out just barely on top on the free mod 2 by 100k. So, Taiwan outperforming France in last week's match. As you said, Dimash, I think France not having as good of a performance as they've been scaling into this tournament so far. Taiwan kind of stepping things up a bit from the qualifiers. So we'll have to see if France can find their footing today. Maybe start to see them shine as these pools start to get a bit more difficult, because this quarterfinals pool, it's pretty hard. I think it's pretty hard. It's quite harder than anything we've seen in the past in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's really interesting, actually. I'm just looking at the bans coming in right now. Of course, how the format works for bans in this stage is the team that wins the roll tends to have the first and fourth ban, while the opposing side has the second and third ban back-to-back. So they can kind of ban together, whereas the other team, they've got to spread out and see and wait for a double ban from Team Red. But of course, the other rule with the banning of this stage is that they cannot ban from the same mod category outside of no mod. So you can have 2 bans in no mod, but you cannot ban twice in any of the mod categories, including hidden, hard rock, DT, and free mod. So you see France there opting to ban the speedy DT as well as the free mod, the speedy free mod as well, as a way of sort of countering the really, really strong performances from Taiwan last weekend on their DTs. They had some insane scores, including that incredible DT2, which was 4.6 million team score.
Yeah, closer to 4.7 actually, which blows my mind. 4.655 it was. So incredible score from them. So no surprise to see France take that one out. Although at the same time, their performance in that DT2 was also incredible. 3.8 mil. but they're just going to be taking it out just because they're that, I guess they're just that scared of Taiwan's lineup on a map like that, and you can't blame them. And, you know, kind of following suit, taking out another speedier pick, which is that free mod 2, and, you know, Taiwan here, they're going to opt to go straight into this hidden one. Bit of a streamier sort of hidden one, a bit different from what we've had so far in the tournament. Bit streamy, some weird kick sliders, kick slider wide spacing jumps in here, as well as a very funny slider stream at the start of this map. We'll have to see who can combo through that one.
Yeah, there can be some really early drops. The first quarter of this map is actually very brutal in terms of the combo game and everything, so it doesn't surprise me that we saw a lot of drops, especially in the last match from Japan. They just could not get a combo going, and I think this match has all the potential to do the exact same to one of these teams if they're not careful.
Seeing the lineups get into the lobby now. The side of France, it's going to be Musty, Thunder, Flaster, and Ikoro to kick things off in the quarterfinals here. Dazzlewind, Shield, Shirosora, and Spine Snite to kick things off for Taiwan. Here we go. Hidden one, 212 BPM.
Yeah, it's also as well important to note that the best of has now changed. It is now a best of 11 for these teams. They will have to work even harder to get those much needed points. You see, they've got to get at least 6 to obtain victory here, which really adds the length to the match. When you add in those 2 potential picks that we might end up seeing, does also mean though that teams they've got to pick a little bit smarter and really work out what their strengths are in these early rounds. From the early rounds.
Yeah, these double bans as well can make such a big difference. It's like that pool does get bigger, but the ability to have 2 bans, especially into those teams where you're kind of trying to avoid that one skill set, maybe that speedier skill set, it really helps out a lot to have an extra map ban. So a bit more wiggle room for some of these teams that maybe have a clear weakness, although both of these teams I don't feel like have super clear weaknesses for the most part, but something to keep in mind for the rest of the matches.
Yeah, and it's interesting actually that this is the first map picked. It's one of the ones that last weekend we had a direct correlation with. It's that hidden one. Both of these teams have performed well on it in the round of 32 and the round of 16, but this will be the tiebreaker between the two, as both of them have had victories against the other on this, and already we can see some struggle from both sides, but particularly affecting Taiwan slightly more, having 3 early drops compared to France's 2, and another one coming in from Shield there.
Yeah, Spine Snite as well going to be following suit. France looking good into the earlier portion of this map. You mentioned, Damasha, that early part of this map's a little bit hard to get your footing on, but France doing a great job. It's just a Koro really with not much of a combo. Flaster's built that back up nicely. Thunder and Musty, though, the 2 only FCs for France, going to be dropping simultaneously. And it's just the combo from Shield, though, on Taiwan, so not really enough to combat Flaster and Okoro here.
Yeah, you're looking at Faster and Okoro here, really holding the line after those big breaks from Thunder and Musty. And with Okoro looking not to go anywhere, supporting Faster. There's just no combo on the side of Taiwan to counteract this. This has been an interesting map for teams to pick, I've noticed. It seems to be a real RNG map, and it hasn't worked out for the pickers, as Taiwan, just like Japan, finding difficulty with this map to hold combos. And there we see big breaks on the diff spike there, but it does not favor Taiwan one little bit. Okoro still holds strong despite the break from Flaster there.
Yeah, this map just looks really tough to get any sort of combo on. Like, you can see these players just breaking over and over, and it's only Okoro to hold through to the ending. No one else above 100 combo. It's just Okoro with about 700 there, closing it out for France. And a great team performance from them. The rest of their players all above 500k, so they're going to be taking that first break point of the match quite convincingly, over 700k in it for France there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're looking at potentially one of the stronger hidden teams that especially Taiwan have gone up against, but just in general in the tournament, France have been particularly strong on the hidden that most teams have opted to avoid them. So it was always going to be an interesting choice, especially when they banned hidden 3. I don't know if this is some sort of tactic to remove hidden from the equation, but as picks go, it definitely wasn't one of the strongest that they could have gone with.
Yeah, and speaking of removing hidden from the equation, it's going to be the last hidden map that we're going to see this match. Hidden 2 coming out straight away from France after taking that hidden 1 off of Taiwan. So yeah, like you said, interesting first pick from Taiwan. Clearly didn't pan out very well for them. France took that by a big margin, so I'm imagining we're probably gonna see something along similar lines here from France. I wouldn't expect to see a breakpoint from Taiwan, but anything can happen on these awkward aim AR8s. You gotta be really careful on these types of maps. You can kind of just miss anywhere if you're not really focused.
Yeah, so I'm looking at these hidden 2 lineups, and again, we really don't have a lot of information in terms of this tournament, but I can tell you the sort of players I'd expect to see, especially after that performance from Flaster early on in that map, really sort of carrying the big combo for France, as well as Akora. They're going to make a dangerous duo, and that's not even to factor in, Musty as well as Thunder as well. I mean, the potential there for these teams is just massive.
Yeah, you're looking at the number 1 seeded hidden 2 team out of qualifiers here on the left, France, with I believe the same lineup, Musty, Thunder, Flaster, and Akora going at it again for Team France, and I'm expecting a big performance out of them. Taiwan, though, on the other side here, we've got Dazzlewind, Flask, Shield, and Spine Snipe holding it down for the Taiwanese.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to work pretty hard to combat this. I mean, they've got some very strong players on their side, but whether it's going to be enough, we will have to wait and see. Immediately, though, they already don't hold the advantage, but there's a break from Musty, though. That's going to open things up for them. They can take advantage. They can't, as Shield's going to find a break. Really struggling on the accuracy here, Shield.
Yeah, I don't think Shield the biggest fan of hidden in general, so seeing him in here, we'll have to see how he does. But the rest of Taiwan looking really strong. It's just Shield struggling with that accuracy. France, though, also got 3 FCs going for them. Musty just with, a better supporting combo with a lot higher accuracy than Shield, and that's what's making this difference so far in this first Ki. No one wants to drop a combo, except for Musty. There it is.
Yeah, the break there from Musty and Shield as well. So you've got the one player on each side who's just struggling, but it's definitely an accuracy difference in favour of France at the moment. You've really got a Taiwanese side that just doesn't quite have a 4-man roster for a map like this, whereas you look over at the side of France and you just know that this is their 4-man roster that they'd put in for this. A break there from Dazzlewind, though, is really going to open things up. Thunder's going to keep it even, though. There's another break, so we've still got 2 FCs on either side. Supporting combo is really going to make a big difference here.
Oh, and there's the break. Players are going to see it. Some of these angles, they start to get a bit spaced, and they're quite linear as well. It'd be very easy to just miss a snap ever so slightly on this AR 8.3. Flaster finds a break on the slow section. That is going to be brutal for France. Taiwan now with the combo advantage. They're going to start to pull things back over as long as Flask and Spine start hold on to these combos. It's just Akora to combat it.
Yeah, Musty going to be finding a break. That's massive, as that's the only supported combo that was probably going to keep France in this, but no. So far, Taiwan are holding with the two big combos. They've got no support though, so it still all could change. A double break could flip this massively, but it's not going to come from supporting combo as France drop Thunder Flaster in that exchange there, and a little bit of a slow section here to kind of let us catch our breath, but again, it looks all doom and gloom for France, despite this being their pick. As Flask will find a break though, but I don't think it's going to be enough to pull it over. There really isn't supporting combo on the side of France to pull this over, despite the breaks coming in from Shield there. Spine's Knight needs to hold the nerve. There is no time. Taiwan will take this. Breakpoint straight back off France. And despite looking like the strongest, or one of the strongest hidden two lineups, they do not win the point.
Yeah,
and it is one apiece.
That is a shocker. That is a shock to see France not take a hidden two there. I mean, you got to give it to Flask and Spine's Knight. They really just pulled it off for their team. Their huge combo from Flask to support that FC from Spine's Knight, and it was just enough against the one FC from Okoro. Rest of their players getting around that 500k mark, which can tend to happen in these tourneys, especially on these awkward aim AR8s. You find one random miss in the middle, and all of a sudden you're completely score capped at like 600k. So it can tend to happen, as we see there. It happened to 3 of the players on France, whereas 2 of the players on Taiwan happened to hold on through those middle sections and get those bigger combos on the board. So
yeah, so now we're in a very interesting situation where Hidden is all gone, but no team really gained an advantage from picking into it early. Both teams, I think, had an underperformance. I'm kind of curious as to why Taiwan went into Hidden 1 first. I don't know if it was like a bait and switch kind of maneuver. I really don't know. That you could see it. You could see it in post, but you couldn't see it at the time. So, very interesting. This is much more what I expected them to pick here. It's going to be DT3. Much more expected here.
yeah, like you said, I think it could have maybe been, kind of baiting France into first picking the hidden two. I don't know. Maybe it could have been a weird tactic from Taiwan, a little bait and switch. Taiwan clearly feeling quite good on that hidden two, despite the, struggle from their 4th player Shield on that one. But, they did enough to take the point. Strategy or not, 1-1 now, and we're back to square one. A break point each. And now we move into Taiwan's pick here on the DT3. I think this is probably the right move from them, obviously, from that ban from France coming out on the DT2. I'll just go straight into this DT3 here.
Yeah, this is very much in Taiwan's comfort zone. I mean, we know the potential that this team has on these speed maps. We saw it last week. I mean, we really don't need to go over it into too much detail, but when you're looking at what they, even on a bad day, you still expect them to pull really high scores on DT. But France, though, also has the potential to do it. We have seen examples, especially like in the round of 32, where France was actually stronger point to point against Taiwan on some of these speed maps, but it's just the potential. France has really got to score high and hope for a bit of an underperformance, I think, from Taiwan to pull this breakpoint. That's what it's going to take, I believe.
Yeah, and these DTs as well, quite a big step up from last week DTs. I think someone talks about last week's DTs being a tad too easy, but so, the step up from those DTs to these ones here, which are a lot more in line with the pool difficulty, you're going to feel it as these players. It's a huge step up to get into the 267 BPM. Very, very speedy DT pick here from Taiwan, and as you can see, players dropping all over the board. Phil Salama gone, Okoro, Willie as well. Blaster follows it up. There's no FCs for France, but we've still got 2 and a very close FC here from Shield for Taiwan.
Yeah, Vroom going to be finding the break there. Flaster and Willie going to be having a bit of change up there. But at the moment, Taiwan still in a very strong position. It's not the start that France would have liked, but there is still potential that Taiwan get tripped up. But they've got to start getting things together. Flaster going to be finding a break. Zane will drop though, so that's another full combo gone. But Phil's the Llama going to be finding a miss there. So again, they're back to the grindstone of trying to build a combo here and hoping. There goes Ryza though. It's just Shield now. Opens things up.
Yeah, there's absolutely an opening here for Okoro and Vroom to build back this combo deficit. I believe they are ever so slightly, never mind. They were ever so slightly in the lead with combo, but not anymore with that break from Vroom. Shield though, he drops the FC for Taiwan. Wait a second. Okoro now. It's 300k in it. Zane has the only combo for Taiwan. If we see that one drop, this could very well go over a lot quicker than we might think.
Yeah, so that's what you got to look at. Okoro does have the biggest combo right now, pushing up against Zane. You've got Phil's the Llama also on a big combo. Everyone else is about even, so it is slightly in France's favor, but it's whether they can make up that score difference of about 200k. Vroom and Willie going to be trading it up. Not massive combos, but with the break from Okoro there, that's really not going to do France any favors. And I do not see a way, unless we have a complete miss from Taiwan here. It's just not going to happen for France. No, not with the break from Flaster. There's just no time.
Yeah. They did lose 2 combos, but like you said, I think there's just not enough time here. Phil Salama doing his best to build that combo back for them, but Shield's holding on strong for Taiwan, and that gap is already just too far gone. 250k as we approach the end of this map here. Taiwan taking their second pick, and now it's going to be on France to take their second pick of the match to equalize things here at 2-2, but France now going into the lead early, 2-1 to them.
Yeah, I think that was an interesting run on that map. I think both teams feel like they could have done better. Definitely some underperformances, but the one thing you can say is the comfort from Taiwan is definitely there. You know, the accuracy is much higher. You got a couple of players on the French side who are struggling a little bit more on the accuracy side of things. So whether it was a bad day, it's kind of hard to say. But they did have the potential to win that map. But both teams probably feeling that was a little bit of an underperformance. So it's a sloppy win, I think Taiwan would say, but they do get the point.
Yeah, I think we could kind of see that comfort difference coming into play now as these DTs start to get a lot more difficult in this quarterfinal stage. France having a couple players on quite low accuracy. I think because Vroom was in slot number 1 there on one of the longer bursts, I actually heard him double tapping it, which was just hilarious to hear, but he's double tapped the whole thing. So clearly France, it's starting to get to that stage now maybe where these, DTs, if you don't have the players that are specialized to play these or can play these really well, you're going to start to see some struggles, as we can see there from a couple of the players in this lobby in general, not just onside France with those lower 300k scores. But it's going to be on France now to make a good pick straight back into Taiwan, and they're going to go for the free mod 3. It's going to be the Toho map.
Yeah, not to be confused with the We Hate Toho map that's right next door in free mod 2.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this map, obviously, an AR8 slot in the free mod this week. AR8 / CS 6.5 if you go for that hard rock. Very old style map here, over 3 minutes at 170 BPM. There's a lot of very old style streams and just weird patterns in general. There's some really weird buzz sliders that aren't buffered very much at some point in this map. And some weird overlaps as well if you're playing on that hidden that can catch you off guard if you're not really focused. So yeah, I'm looking at the hidden players here that struggle, I think, a lot. You have to be really comfortable on AR8 hidden and like old style mapping, I think, to perform well on something like this. Yeah, this map is really tough on the low AR here. I think we might see some hard rock overmods.
Yeah, definitely. I think the option is there for overmodding, but typically, outside of it being it's more of a comfort thing, I think, at this stage to see overmodding rather than an actual strategy to have players force mods, because of just how difficult these maps start to get, especially like on the precision side of things. It more becomes like players struggle to read AR-10 without putting the hidden mod on, so they do it as a comfort thing. It's just one of the examples.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we might see some of the same trend here, you know, players who may not be super comfortable reading, you know, AR8, let alone AR8 old mapping style sort of overlap weird patterns and streams. So, you know, it's not just the AR8 aspect, it's just it's so much more to a map like this that, yeah, that's why I feel like we may see some of these hard rock overmods just because of that comfort. Side of France, though, I'm curious to see if they will overmod on the hard rock or if they're going to stick with those low approach rate no mods, just because I know this team is very comfortable on these AR8s, you know, with your players like Okoro and Musty, for example.
So, map number 4, Team France's second map pick here. They are definitely looking to keep this score even after having the ideal start with that breakpoint, but unfortunately dropped it earlier on. So definitely looking to at least keep things even here until they can hopefully take another breakpoint off Taiwan. And they're gonna be off to a better start with a triple break overall for Taiwan here. Spines, Knight, Zane, and Flask all finding misses, but no issue for France here in the early goings.
And no overmods from either team, which is quite surprising to me. We've got the double no mod on either side, just the singular hidden, singular hard rock. So France looking quite a bit more comfortable though with this four-way still intact early on here. Taiwan, just Dazzlewind, the only one to hold them off. Justman going to be finding a break on the hard rock, but other three players looking extremely comfortable in this low AR. And yeah, look at that difference at the break already over 200k, and we're only just a quarter way through this map.
Yeah, I mean, it's already such a strong start from France. You really have to start predicting big breaks to come in for this to really go the other way. And it's going to be France to have to pull that off. Justman will find a break alongside Spines, Knight, and Flask, but I mean, they've still got 3 solid combos, and the accuracy is good, the combo's good. They're just in a really strong position here. And I honestly don't see that changing anytime soon. Thunder will find a break though, never mind. That does weaken their stance just a little bit, but I mean, with just Dazzlewind, oh my god, it's going to have to be a break from Okoro, and it is! Hang on, a full reset for France here, as Dazzlewind continues to hold on the no mod. There is potential here. Flask is building up a nice combo as well. He will keep them ahead, but whether they can make up 300k, it's still quite an ask for all of Taiwan to hold here.
Collapse from France, just kind of out of nowhere. It's all on Dazzlewind's shoulders, and he's got 3 good supporting combos backing him up here. It is going over quick. Here's the buffer, the buzz sliders. It's only Zane to break. Dazzlewind holds on, and that's crucial.
Yeah, I think there was also a break from Musty as well there. He found a reset just before the break, so bit of a reset. Zane will find another reset as we go into this. So quarter of the map left. Okoro is going to be finding another reset though. Again, much better for Taiwan as they really have started to build up these supporting combos. There is enough time for them to pull this score over, but France could hold here. A break from Dazzlewind would give them an option to maybe try and hold this score, but it's got to come quickly, and it doesn't look like it's coming anytime soon. Taiwan now currently hold the lead. France hoping for a double break. There's Dazzlewind. Dazzlewind drops. So now Spines Knight's going to drop as well. France will be able to pull this back over as long as Thunder and Justman hold on at the very end of the map. Very little time for a chance for Taiwan to call back here. Will they get the break? I don't think it's going to happen. No.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Taiwan just getting so close to stealing that away. France taking it by the skin of their teeth. And they needed that point. That is really important. They take that pick there. You do not want to be going down 1-3 early in this match against Taiwan and losing this low approach rate free mod. Because into Taiwan's pick as well next, that would have been a scary situation to be in. But they get it done, and that's all that matters. It's not qualifiers, so it doesn't matter if their team score wasn't, any higher. As long as they get the point. They can win by 1 point, and that's all that matters. So they barely take it, but it's enough from France. Dazzlewin doing all he can, and he's going to be gutted with that break at the end. Absolutely gutted that he wasn't able to close out that FC for them, but it is what it is. 2-2 now as we move back over to Taiwan's pick. Great effort from them to try and take that break point.
Yeah, it is truly an interesting situation to find yourself in, where Taiwan, they had the point. All they had to do was hold on to they had 2 combos that they could have held on to, and France with really the miracle card being played there, with both of those big combos from Taiwan dropping. That's what really gave them the definitive win there. So we need to relook at this situation now from a potential second break point from Taiwan, which would have been absolutely massive, to now this 2-2 scenario we find ourselves in. It's likely that Taiwan is going to go into another DT here, because I don't really see, and there it is, yeah, DT1. Don't really see them changing their strategy after how definitive DT3 was really in their favor. Even though the score was relatively close, it doesn't really paint a picture of how much Taiwan was favored on that map.
Yeah, I think the comfort difference was clearly there. Like you said, even though that score margin was relatively close on DT3, I think it was just an underperformance from Taiwan, and they clearly were more comfortable on that. Like I said, France having some struggle on a few players with their accuracies. So, yeah, I think it's smart to stay in this DT, and, hopefully they can, maybe not underperform on the following DT picks. They've still got DT4 as well, and they're going to be picking up this DT1 now. So it's looking like a close match so far. I mean, two apiece now, and I mean, we knew this was going to be a close one. France, Taiwan, and loser bracket quarterfinals, man. Just can't believe it. But for France, we're going to be having Flasted, Justman, Vroom, and Phil Salama coming in for the DT1. Taiwan is going to be Shiro Sora, Dazzlewind, Ryza, and Shield, who joins the lobby right in time. There it is, our lineups for the DT1, and a pick Taiwan want to take, that's for sure. I could definitely see this one going all the way to tiebreaker here. 3 more picks each way for either of these teams.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's hard not to see Taiwan as the favorite on this one, but I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got some strong DT aim players on this roster from France. Flaster and Hifkill in particular, when they were playing last week, did some amazing stuff, but Hifkill not in the lineup for this one, so we'll see if that is a positive or perhaps even a negative change for France on this one.
Yeah, even so, yeah, this France lineup, they still got some great DT players. I feel like this one absolutely could go to the distance, and it can tend to always be the case with these 1 slots, they can always end up being kind of close no matter which team is favored, just because it's a skill set that most players can play at this kind of level. But as we see early, Flaster and Vroom finding breaks for France, Taiwan holding onto their 4-way. looking a little bit more comfortable early out the gates on this one. Phil Salama following up with another break of his own. It's only just, man, for France. Taiwan holding onto a 4-way. Riser finds a break, but overall, they're just looking so much more comfortable as we're already a third of the way through this map, Marsh. 2 minutes long.
Yeah, very, very short one, this. And it's interesting, actually, that I brought up Hivkill last week being one of the prime players for the DTA map. We don't actually see Hivkill in the lineup, and that might be due to Hivkill not actually being here for this matchup. France might be down to a 7-man roster, and that does not bode well, especially with Phil Salama finding another reset here. Just for room here with the big combo for France, but a shield for Taiwan going to be finding a little bit of issue with that break there. But it's still not looking good for France here, even with that shield break, as 2 full combos and a good support as well really doesn't bode well going into the last quarter of the map.
Really short map, this one. I saw shield break and I was like, oh, that was an early break. You know, surely he hasn't built up that much score. No, he's already at 550k. This map is almost over as Dazzlewind and Shirosara look to close things out. Shiro finds a break, though, at the end. It's just Dazzlewind again for Taiwan. The world on his shoulders as he pulls Taiwan over the line here, although it wasn't needed, as it's about a 700k difference already. Him and his team have done so much here. Everyone over 600k. Great scores from Taiwan. He closes out the FC. Absolutely. There it is, a 3.4 million team score from Taiwan. A convincing pick, which is definitely what they needed for their morale moving forward in this match.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? A very, very one-sided battle, that one. On that map,
you know, there.
Yeah. 765,000 points. Yeah, pity for Vroom there. Tried to do the work for the team, but it's just nowhere near what was needed. They needed almost another player entirely to try and make up that difference. But it's not a map they were predicted to win, so it's not the worst thing in the world for France there. As long as they can recover on this next pick, they can battle Taiwan on something else.
And it's now on France to try and pick something that maybe they can convincingly take off Taiwan. You know, you're kind of on the back foot after losing a pick from Taiwan that convincingly. You know, have you got something in the back pocket that, you know, you can kind of easily put a point up on the board from playing. But yeah, it's going to be the Hard Rock 3 that they think they can do it on, hopefully, for France. So far, their 2 points haven't been very convincing. So see if they can make a turnaround on this Hard Rock 3. And I think this is a good pick. Maybe? She may not be as confident in that as I was.
I mean, hey, look, it's a banger map, but we can't understate how this is probably one of the more trickier maps of this pool. I mean, you probably know more about it than I would, so I'll let you take the reins on this one and explain what makes this just as tricky as it is.
So, very, very techie Hard Rock 3, this one. It's just brutal patterns all throughout, basically. You've got some very funny streams and hard slider aim in here, just mixed throughout, and it's so consistently difficult the whole way through. You know, sitting at about 3 minutes, it just doesn't really let up. It's one of those Hard Rock maps where it's just so hard to get a combo going, especially in those more difficult sections. But also to mention, custom song from Red Side, custom background as well from an artist I don't recall the name of, I apologize, and also custom map for OWC. So we got all the customs here, and this is a banger. So thank you very much to Red Side for making this song for OWC. Literally made the song for the tournament.
Yeah, and what a song it is! I'll tell you what, it is it's a fantastic one. As songs go, I was listening to this earlier in the week. It's great. Definitely would go and give this map a try, even if you just play it, you know, with a bit of no mod. You don't have to play with hidden. Oh, sorry, Hard Rock. It's
It's a little bit harder with hard rock, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit, little bit trickier.
This map becomes brutal with hard rock, that's for sure. Here we go. Good luck, have funds are out. It's going to be Musty, Justman, Vroom, and Okoro for France. Flask, Shield, Dazzlewind, and Riser for Taiwan. On France here to try and get their point on the board. Very much needed to bring things to 3-3. You do not want to be going down 2-4 into a pick from Taiwan. You know, it's the potential threat of a match point on the board if that happens, so...
So, getting into this, we are looking at a really tricky map. I'm expecting someone to just pop off on this and to really just kind of carry it for their team. But Shield and Flask going to be running into some difficulty early on, alongside Riser as well. First quarter of the map not really going in Taiwan's favour here, but good for France, which is great as they were looking for a pick to even things up, and so far they're off to a very, very good start here.
Yeah, you see these players on Taiwan just having so much trouble with these super high velocity sliders, and it's just such consistent slider aim. It does not stop. You don't get a second to breathe, except for this section here where things finally slow down a little bit. Players can reset those pen grips, reset the mouse drift, whatever is needed, but France looking so good as they have a 4-way into the first break. I believe it is a 4-way, yep. 4-way FC still. It's just Dazzlewind again for Taiwan, the lone FC, the third map in a row. It's got that supporting combo from Flask, but France just look unstoppable right now.
Yeah, we're looking at just actually, I didn't realize just how insane the score actually was until Okoro broke there, but with 3 full combos still going through, France are making potential light work of this map. Dazzlewind still trying to hold Taiwan in there, and if there is an implosion, maybe there's a bit of chance. It's enough score from Dazzlewind, but it's going to have to come quickly. But there is good supporting combos still on Taiwan. They have had a great recovery here, and we need a little bit more from France to maybe swing this in their favor. Koro there, going to be finding another reset, but it's not the one that Taiwan will be hoping for. Hoping for something a bit more from France. There it is. Musty will find a drop. And now the door is starting to open for Taiwan as Okoro continues to find resets here.
Oh man, just watching these FCs get through some of these patterns is incredible. Incredible FCs from Justman, Vroom, and Dazzlewind. Regardless of the team they're on here. Insane performances from these three players. They continue to hold the FCs. Justman finally finds a break. It's now 1 apiece. It's actually going back over to Taiwan, but there's just, I don't think it's near enough time for them to take this one, unfortunately.
Definitely not. No, they needed Flask to hold, I think, to have a chance at that one. They've brought it back quite a bit to just 200k, but
yeah, surprisingly close. I definitely wasn't expecting that one to be as close. I thought that one was done and dusted as France had that 3-way FC into the ending of the map, but Taiwan putting up big efforts to try and bring that one back. Huge combos from the rest of their players, Flask, Shield, and Riser, respectively, after breaking early in the map. So good effort to try and pull things back, and a lot closer than we definitely initially thought. But big FCs from Vroom and Dazzlewind, great scores from them. Don't think we're going to see too many FCs on this map this weekend.
Yeah, fantastic, really, from both teams. You know, I think with the different elements you described earlier, I think it's definitely one of those maps that has a lot more break potential than was actually showcased in that play. Yeah, it's not a map to underestimate by any means.
Absolutely. It's just one of those types of maps that you play and match, techie maps with lots of slider aim, high velocity, very high velocity sliders and stuff. It's so easy to find, just random slider breaks on all the time. And then you throw hard rock on top of that. And then you throw a 3+ minute map on top of that. It just makes it so brutal. But, those teams, I think, did incredibly well on that. Almost 3 team scores from both of them. And a very much needed point for France. It's now Taiwan back in the driver's seat. They're gonna need to put a good pickup here on the board, and I'm looking at that DT4.
And I'm looking at this score now, and it's we're halfway through this match, and no team has got a definitive advantage really. I think both of these maps are still up in the air. I've noticed that Taiwan has left that DT4 alone. I don't know if they're maybe trying to keep something in the back pocket for later, perhaps, but they are going to go into No Mod 2 now. Very tapping-focused, oriented map. Of course, this one is it's not necessarily focused as much on the long tapping-focused, very heavy stamina-draining streams. It's more about bursty flow aim control. I think this sums this map up a little bit better.
Yeah, lots of flow aim in this one, like you mentioned, and also a lot of accelerating and decelerating streams, which, they are brutal to play in any tournament. It's so easy to find misses on, anything that just accelerates or decelerates. So I have to see how these players handle them, but an interesting pick for Taiwan for sure. I can see why they've gone into it. That France banned the DT2, which is tapping intensive. It's like a left-handed focus map. DT3, Taiwan managed to win decently convincingly, even with an underperformance. So, let's go into some more tapping, and they're going to be going for this No Mod 2. Although, like you said, a little bit more aim focused, a little more flow aim control in this one, a lot of accelerating patterns. So I think France might have a decent shot at a break point here.
Yeah, it's definitely something they could potentially win. Of course, the thing to try and avert your eyes from is the star rating. The star rating doesn't really reflect the necessary difficulty of this map, whether for a positive or a negative reason. So, you really just have to take it on the sort of players that we've got in this lobby. We are having a bit of a technical issue with one of the players here, so we should get the map underway very shortly. But yeah, again, it's very much you're looking at the high BPM of this map, very bursty. It's very much going to play. In a way, it's going to be more like a DT1, I think, than most more traditional stamina-intensive No Mod 2s, because it's a lot more focus on the aim and burstiness of this map than anything else. So it's interesting to see whether that'll affect the score really, because we did see France have a very good aim roster as well, but Varun going to be finding the first break to kick this map underway.
Yeah, it's some scary No Mod 2 players on France, man. Flaster and Justman, especially Justman, always on this France roster, just eats up these No Mod 2s. He has for the past couple years in OWC. So it's definitely not a roster to scoff at, and Taiwan are going to have to put in the work and more if they want to take their own pick here. As we see almost an 8-way into the start of this map, Vroom with a very, very early break, but probably won't make much of a difference.
Yeah, very different start from what we've seen previously played on this map, where we just had an absolute ton of resets at the in the early goings, as some of those aim elements really came into play. But both sides actually managing this quite well. Good accuracies across the board. Flashes are going to be finding a break, though. Rise are going to be trading up, though, so that's okay. Dazzlewind going to be finding a reset, though. That favors France right now. Zane also going to be falling apart here. Taiwan really barely holding together at the seams here, as the early bait from Varun has pretty much become non-existent at this stage, and France are in a solid position right here.
This is not what you want to see from Taiwan. 3 FCs to 0 now on their own pick. France is just eating this map alive. Well, 2 FCs technically. Vroom on and near FC. Reverse choke so far. But, I mean, this is an incredible performance from France. There is just no combo on Taiwan. It's only Riser and Zane with 400, but, like, what does that matter when 3 players have 1200 on France?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it just seems like you always... These matchups this weekend has just been one team can play this and one team who can play this kind of just falls apart on their run, you know, and it seems very much more uneven than it is. But if you look at the accuracies from both sides, I mean, there's a double break from France there, so just a Koro on the FC, but as long as a Koro holds, I mean, what can Taiwan do but just watch? I mean, that's 600k behind already.
Yeah, 600k, and that's going to build more with this FC from Okoro. Well, yeah, it should. I think combos are about even here. Oh, not anymore as Okoro finds a break, but it's just, there's about an eighth of the map left. Taiwan have a big combo advantage, but how do you build 500k in the last 5% of the map here? I don't think it's possible. Taiwan, again, making things a little closer here than we initially anticipated. Same story as Hard Rock 3. So they start to pull things back, and maybe if there was a bit more map, they would have a chance to pull things over, but there's just nowhere near enough map left as France still take it convincingly, over 300k in that, and they take a very much needed break point.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise, I think, for France to take that one. They do break the deadlock finally, but you know, you have to look out to players like Okoro and Dazzlewind and Riser as well. They had such strong accuracy, really not suffering from finger lock, but just not able to pull home the FC. But it's the combo game for France that really did it there. There wasn't really an accuracy advantage on either side. It was all down to those massive combos that France were able to build up after those early misses. And like I said, it's Okoro really who solidified that with that massive, almost, well, you know, basically an FC really.
Yeah, great performance from France on that no mod too, and very convincing break point. They've got a bit of wiggle room now as they move into their next pick. I'm curious where they're going to go with it. I'm looking at maybe one of these free mods as an option, or potentially the Hard Rock 1 after how that Hard Rock 3 panned out, although it, you know, any one slot is always risky. It's actually going to be the No Mod 4, which actually this one makes sense too. Which also probably was worth pointing out. That Hard Rock 3 was very techy, and they took that one quite convincingly. So let's go for the map that's most similar in the pool to that Hard Rock 3, and it's going to be the No Mod 4. It's going to be Fake Life. Very tricky No Mod 4, you know, kind of on par almost with the Hard Rock 3 this week. Maybe a little bit easier, but looking at 2 minutes here. A similar style of map as the Hard Rock 3. You know, lots of high velocity sliders in here, some cut patterns, cut streams, and yeah, just a lot of slider aim in general. Quite mechanically intensive. Starting to get to that stage in the tourney where these tech maps now are going to really test your mechanics as well as your, you know, ability to read weird overlaps and tech, you know, aim control, finger control patterns.
Yeah, very short map as well. Definitely one of the shorter ones to watch out for, which, you know, you tend to see with some of the more difficult techie maps. You know, I think in early stages you tend to start out with, you know, more consistency focused tech maps, but as you really start to push the difficulty level, you kind of want to rein back the length on maps like this. So, you know, as a result, you find these big, intense difficulty spike sections that, you know, require players to to pull combos through to really swing the score in their favor. Those are the most exciting moments of maps like this that really are going to sway things one way or the other.
And of course, quite the questionable drop in this song, as we just heard. I don't know if you quite caught that one. I'm sure we'll get to listen to it again as this map plays out.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah, a little bit of a funny drop. This one, but rosters looks like they're going to be in the lobby now. Musty, Justman, Vroom, and Okoro. France, Dazzlewind, Flask, Riser, and Shield. For Taiwan. MP Star 5 out. And here we go. Getting into this Nomad 4. You know, this is a very important point for both teams. I think Taiwan really need a break point back of their own. Even things back out again. If France manage to take this one, they're going to be going up match point, which is going to be huge for them. Not only just because they're one off winning, but it also just boosts your team morale so much. Especially to be up 2 points in such an intense match like this.
It does. So we are looking at the potential of this map to swing in anyone's favor, and both teams out of the gate, they're off to really, really good starts here. Riser, as I say that, of course, and Dazzlewind going to be finding breaks early on. Plenty of time of recovery though, even though it's a quarter of the way through the map. There's a lot of big score that you can build up. As long as you can not, as long as you don't start to chain miss, you should be fine.
Man, I mean, these players are looking so good on this. Same with Hard Rock 3. I think both these players just really feeling it on the tech today. Because, man, holding combos in even the early section of this map is really tough. France are getting through it with a 4-way. We get into this slider spammy section. Okoro finds a drop. Shield trades it. Big combos on the board. There's still 6 big combos left, and I think 4 FCs here. Which is incredible stuff, as we're now going to start to transition into the harder part of the map, into this back half. That first half is still nothing to scoff at. As we get into the funny drop.
Yeah, and it's France's map to lose at this stage. Rise are going to be finding a reset, so that's going to put Taiwan in a really bad position. And France really starting to pull the score. You can see how quickly the bar moves. Justman going to be finding a break though. It's going to slow things down for them just a little bit. But as long as Musty and Vroom hold strong here. There goes Musty. Vroom going as well. Dazzle and Flask.
Wait a second.
Can they do it? They need the big performance here. They're going to pull it over. There's very little time left. They have to hold right here. They've got it. Incredible stuff.
Oh my god. They finally do it. They finally do it after 2 maps in a row where France were winning by such a large margin. Find breaks at the end. Taiwan start to claw things back, but they never have enough in the tank. They finally get it. They finally have enough in the tank. Flask is there to back up Dazzlewind this time around as he takes the top score on this map, the S rank, 880k, an FC, I believe. Incredible stuff from him. They finally claw a map over from France after getting so close a couple times in a row. 4-4 now, and another break point straight back to France. And they are some damned good scores on that map, by the way. That is a tough No Mod 4. Some of those players putting up incredible scores there. Really anything over 600k on a map like that, especially in match, is pretty damn good. And now, Taiwan, they have the freedom of picking the map at their leisure that they want to take into match point, assuming they can close on it. And I'm looking at the DT4. It's got to be the DT4.
Oh yeah, one pick left. You'd assume that's where they'd go, but I mean, there is still a lot of that no-mod pool available. You know, you assume that... Okay, hang on. What's happened here then? I don't know if you've seen what that is.
Oh,
but that's interesting. I don't know how to feel about. Hang on. Let's slow this down. Taiwan, what are you doing? That's what I was going to say. France was going to pick. That was France's pick, and you've taken it off them. All right, pick something else. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that is about.
This is definitely an interesting pick. I mean, look, it's fair. Maybe if they're not feeling that DT4, it is really tough on that AR 10.3. You know, maybe it's just not quite up their alley. So, you know, maybe go somewhere else, but not the Hard Rock 1. I'm not too sure about this one, just because the Hard Rock 3, France looked super good. Mind you, Taiwan looked pretty good on it as well. But this one just feels like such a gamble to go into Hard Rock 1 against France, a team that's, you know, they looked so good on Hard Rock, and they're also just a really good aim roster. So, man, I don't know. I think, yeah, Taiwan does have the chance to take this one, absolutely. They could have some pop-off performances. But I think France is favored on this pick, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's hard to not see France's potential on a map like this. I mean, we've seen how good they are on the Hard Rocks thus far. They have been the stronger side, and I cannot. I'm sure there is some reasoning in the Taiwanese side's thought process where it's like, okay, this is our map. This is the map we need to force tiebreaker. I just don't see it. But I can't wait to be proven right or wrong for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because this is a mind-boggling pick, regardless of what happens.
I can't wait for Taiwan to 4-way FC and then France to all miss in the middle, and then we're just sitting here looking stupid. That's, you know, it just happens sometimes.
It'd be great, wouldn't it? It'd be so fantastic if that happened. just my jaw literally bouncing off the floor from confusion. Oh, let's see it happen. Let's see it happen.
Taiwan would be the team to do it as they come into their final pick of the match with Dazzlewind, Ryzer, Shield, and Zane. It's going to be Musty, Justman, Vroom, and Okoro to combat the Taiwanese roster here on the final pick from Taiwan this match.
So, 3 minutes and 3 seconds of this map. Early breaks, like the one we saw, I think, from Zane and possibly Justman as well. Adjusting to this map might play a factor. But so far, Taiwan are the stronger side. They are holding better accuracy. Going through this, but plenty of time for all of that to change. Zane gonna be the first one to maybe shift the favor to the French side as he finds a drop there.
Oh, Musty trades it back though. Ryzer also found a break, which I didn't quite catch. So that's 3 FCs to France now, only 2 for Taiwan, but their accuracy was keeping them in the lead there for longer than they really had the right to be. France finally flicker things over, but Okoro, that's a huge break now. I'm pretty sure that goes straight back over to Taiwan because of this accuracy difference.
Yeah, Justman, Vroom, all finding breaks here. What is going on? I mean, it's halfway through the map. I don't know if you've noticed, but at the moment, Dazzlewind and Shield are the ones holding the big combos.
And it's just them two. Dazzlewind, though, finds a drop, so it's just Shield. Shield for Team Taiwan. No! I'm first him immediately. He finds a break. Musty now with the biggest combo in the lobby. France have the combo advantage.
Well. Musty's gone. What is going on?
No one can hold. No one can hit the circles. Click the circles.
Just man,
Just
Koro
man.
dropped accuracy.
Oh
What
my-
is going on? What? Right, so here's a situation. We have got a Koro on the biggest combo, but just dropped a load of accuracy. It's going to find that really hard to build it back up, but can do it. A Koro's got to do it. Shield drops the biggest combo that Taiwan had right now. So currently, France are looking to take this. They've got to make up 70k. Dazzlewind finds a reset. Riser is trying to hold on alongside Zane, but it's not going to be enough on their own unless France fall apart here. Riser drops. That's going to be enough. It flips over. Dazzlewind again. Akoro is still holding strong on Hard Rock, and it's going to be enough unless they completely implode on this stream. They do not. France take a break point with their pick in hand. Unbelievably close that match was.
That was a roller coaster of emotions. I don't know what happened in that diff spike section, but no one wanted to hit anything. That was, I mean, you gotta just chalk that up to probably nerves. You know, you're in such a close match on the cusp of elimination. These players are probably really nervous. I mean, look, you when you're playing in an OWC in front of thousands of people like this, it is so hard to just be consistent and play well. You've got to have a lot of experience to not feel it, to not feel the nerves. I mean, like, I don't blame any of these players if they were nervous in that map. You know, there's still good scores though. Like, everyone's still getting 500 plus K, which is, you know, from the collapse we saw, that's pretty impressive. I think it was really just that part. Everyone decided to miss at the same time. It just made things go back and forth constantly. But Akoro holds onto enough combo to close it out for France, alongside the 3 supporting combos with him. Just enough.
So, here's the situation. France have got their last pick in hand. All they have to do is pick something they feel that they can win, and then just perform. That's all they have to do. I know it sounds really complicated, but it's very simple. And for some reason, I've got Fremod 1 in my mind as something they're just going to pick. Something from Fremod, I think.
Yeah.
They're going to pick Nomod 5, Akoro. They're going for the Akoro buff.
Yep.
Hang on.
I was thinking the same thing though. I was thinking no mod 1 or free mod 1. I was like, there's no way. I was like, this could actually be a no mod 1 here. And it could have definitely been a free mod 1 too, but they go for the no mod 5, and this is Akoro's ballpark. This is his realm right here on a map like this. This is the type of map he'd crank an SS out on with Hard Rock. Like, this guy on maps like this, funny rhythms and weird like BPM changes and weird to snap angles. It's got Akoro written all over it, and this is up to Taiwan to, I think, to steal this one from France, because yeah, I think France are going to be really good on this.
I mean, what can you say? If they don't put Akoro in for this, I might just walk away right now.
Oh, there's no way.
There's no way, right?
Us. That's why he's not in the lobby.
He better not. Akoro, that slot 4 is yours.
Oh my god, I saw a name pop up and I freaked out.
We know who's going there, right? There's no way that anyone else goes in that slot that isn't named Akoro.
Maybe it was like a dramatic entrance type thing. Like, maybe he wanted to leave the lobby and then be the last to join. It was like a menacing, like, you know, aura. He just kind of brings it to the lobby in that last
it better
last
be. There
slot. There it is.
There it is.
And everyone trembles. The ground starts shaking. Akoro's in. The type of map you don't want to face the guy on. I don't think there's many people in the world, really, that can take this kind of map away from Akoro, especially in 1v1 tourneys. But team tourneys are a whole different story. You know, just because maybe Akoro is really good on a map like this, it doesn't mean that players on Taiwan can't put up huge scores as well and maybe outperform the rest of the players on France. And there's always a chance of Akoro not having a greatest performance. You know, when you're in 20s, OWC, risk of elimination, it can get to you for sure.
Yeah, so here we are. It is map number 10. And it's all to play for, really. And again, you've got to feel for Taiwan. They really do have to put up a strong performance against France. Maybe they knew that this was coming. Maybe they've prepared and planned to battle them here, but they know they've got to do something very special. They know they've probably got to bring home an FC, if not perhaps more, to battle what you just expect from that one player that we've mentioned a couple of times, as Willie will find the first break for Taiwan. Not a good start. Well, I mean, actually a pretty decent start for them, but cannot hold much more than that. Musty going to be trading it up, though. So let's keep things even Stevens.
Yeah. Everyone in this lobby is getting through these split doubles really comfortably. I'm so surprised to still see 6 FCs on the board now as we get into the diff spike of the map here. Some funny jumps. It's just Musty and Willie, the only ones to find breaks. But Thunder, he finds one shield, trades it back. Vroom as well for France. It's now 2 FCs for Taiwan, and it's just Okoro for France now. This is probably the hardest part of the map, but no! Both FCs are gone from Taiwan. It's all Okoro now as he hits the remainder of the hard section. There it is. And now, if he continues to hold this combo, he's gonna sprint for the finish line.
Doomsday is approaching, and it's got Okoro etched into the sky as he continues to run away into the second half. He finds a miss!
No way.
He finds a miss! And this suddenly does not look good for France.
Uh-oh. Well, this is now looking, this is looking Taiwan favored. They definitely have the combo advantage now. They've got 4 decent combos. France now with only 3 since Okoro's only just found that miss. They will start to pull things over into their favor, but how long?
Yeah, we are looking at the last quarter of this map to decide where we're going. Spines Knight, though, right into the break. An unbelievable miss. That is a really bad time if you're Taiwan. They're suddenly once again on the back foot. But you've got players like Musty there, and you know Okoro is going to bring in a good score on this recovery combo in this last quarter, so it's whether France can hold their nerve. They need to if they want to stay in this. Look how close this score is. It's 50k, if that.
I can't understate the nerves from these players at that break, seeing the score. Willie finds a drop shield as well. It's only Dazzle win for Taiwan. France now, all 4 of them are holding on. And at the end of the day, even though Okoro found that miss, it looks like France, they've just managed to close this one out. Taiwan perhaps a little nervous going into that ending, and you can't blame them, but Okoro alongside the rest of France hold their nerve through this ending. Thunder finds a break. Musty with a huge combo for France, pulling it into the ending for them. France are going to be your victors this match. A great team performance from them. 600Ks from 3 of their players, and Thunder with the 470k supporting score. Taiwan, just a slightly lower average all around. Unfortunately, unable to take things at tiebreaker. France going to be kicking Taiwan out of the tournament on a close 6-4 scoreline. What a match, man.
Yeah, incredible stuff from both teams there. But particularly that final play, I didn't even see the No Mod 5 come in as France's last pick. I'd completely forgotten that they would have had a map like that in their back pocket, and all of that team would have been prepared to strike. Fantastic stuff from them. And that is going to sum it up. Unfortunately, we say goodbye to Taiwan in losers round 2. I cannot believe it. But it is... that is the way the seeding goes, as France will return. I believe they are playing tomorrow. So they will be back again this weekend for another fantastic match. But we will wait.